Okay. Not sure my shoulders are up for this one, but we got one is a full frame. One is almost there. There's a little Fuji that could. I'm trying to get them as equal as possible. Can you guess right away just which one is full frame, which one's the Fuji? Canon R versus Fuji.
All I want is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
So we got the Fuji XT4 with 18mm Tony-2 on your right versus Canon EOS R with the 15 to stupid ass 35,000 pound lens at something at 22ish. It should be 28, but I can't do that with this. No, I have so many tests in mind. The lens stabe versus IBIS, and then the color science. Right now we're just in Eterna versus Faithful. We'll try log, but we can't auto expose and log over here. Take your log off a bridge. It made no sense. I also have 35mm equivalents for both lenses, so we'll pit those against each other, autofocus and stuff. We'll do some studio stuff as well. I'm gonna walk into bright sunlight. Oh. Who is bringing us back to reality? Neither. Canon? This stupid heavy ass piece of shit. Who's overexposing? I do vlogs like this. This is how I vlog. Alright, let's do some stabilization tests. We got the Fuji with just IBIS. We'll try digital as well, but IBIS versus lens stabe. Who does it? Who does it? I find the Fuji's not bad. It's not too bad. It's not great, but it's doable. It's somewhat doable. It's usable. It's not like Panasonic warpy shit. It's not Olympus level, but it's good enough. Versus the Canon R, we have just lens stabe right now. Trying to be steady. We'll try digital on both. But I've been impressed with both systems. Olympus is the top. There's a guy wondering why I'm in his life. Just embrace it. Olympus is the top, Panasonic next. And then it's like Canon and Fuji. I'd say Canon first, from what I see. Now, as of right now, Fuji has the advantage in that I could use an optical stabilized lens with the IBIS. Canon R6 will have that advantage as well, but for right now, it's all Fuji. Or is it? Fuji looks better exposed, I'll tell you that much. Okay, now we got digital stabe on both. IBIS plus digital, lens plus digital. I think lens is the superior for wide. We know that. IBIS and wide do not make sense. How's this handling your life? We just hit the sunshine. I left my bag unattended. It's safe. It's Canada. Don't worry. So Fuji with the IBIS and the digital. Just walking in a park. Sunshine hit me, but Fuji compensated quickly in a stepping motor-like fashion. Down steps like he fell down a flight of steps, and every fucking one, you felt it on your shins. But that's fine. It's magic. First the Canon at 22mm for some reason. Do we have to be doing that? I don't know. But here we are. We're doing it. Let's see how you handle the sunlight. Let a little sunshine into your life. Not bad. Not that you'd let me know with zebras. You wouldn't even warn me. You would just let a zebra attack me and my baby. It's kind of rude. Although you are eye tracking. I appreciate that. Fuji does it as well. It's not an advantage. This hurts. Hurts my face and my ego. We're in a park. There's too many people here. I'm gonna leave. The cool thing about the Canon is the wideness. Now you'd think I should have brought the 10 to 24 to compare against this, but it's so bad on the Fuji, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. I'm not gonna handicap the Fuji system for that terrible lens. They did not think twice about putting stabe in that thing. It's barely in. This is barely doable. I can't imagine anybody doing this. It's too heavy. Give me the 24 2.8 prime, much lighter. Basic effect. It'd look like this. We've all seen it. That's too tight. Oh, take everything back. Here's 20mm. They do have a 20mm 2.8, but it's not stabilized. So that means Stabilization off. Is this doable? Oh, we're learning so hard. Is this stable enough? Why am I dark? I'm brighter now. Thank you. Are we good? Is digital enough? Have I underlooked you? That definitely wasn't the word. All right, let's switch to the 35 mils and test some log dynamic range stuff. Autofocus. Love. That's a little tighter. Okay, we're both on a 35 mil equivalent with digital stab on. That looks terrible on the Canon. It's jitterbugging already. That ain't right. But it's much lighter now compared to that 15 to 35, but it's still heavier than the Fuji. But so much more toner. That's not fair. Can't go lower than Tony 2. So it's a battle. That looks terrible. What the hell is your problem with the jerky, shaky shit? I just had to check. Lens stab is on as well as digital. And that's the worst thing I've ever seen. Let me prove it to you. If I'm seeing it on the screen, usually the screen at least lies to you and it pretends to be smooth. Oh my god. Versus the Fuji, IBIS and digital. It's probably not very good either, but it's a nice lens. I could make it work in my life, kind of. As long as I don't turn. Nice exposure, relaxation method, Fuji. That was a couple lumpy steps. Sorry about that. All right, let's just chill for a bit. All right, I got them set up as close as we could get it. This one seems a little tighter. All digital stab is off on both. Why is that? Why, Canon? Is 23 mil a lie? Might it be 21? I was wondering why it seemed a little wide when I was holding it. I like that. I like that Fuji. Really, it's 34.5, but everybody lies about their focal length, so you never know. It's never exact. I have 3 12 mil lenses on the Panasonic, and they're all different. The 12 prime is the widest of the 12s. You know what I mean? So how we doing? We're just still in the Faithful versus Eterna. Sky, zebras. Looks probably zebra-like as well. Who's handling it? We should switch to log for both and then manually expose Canon. They're both tracking my eye. What's on me? Oh god. Don't look at it. That's worse. It's worse. Oh, it's biting, it's attacking, it's fighting back. It's winning. It won the battle. Who tracked me better? Oh, the answer is clear. Oh, that's bullshit, Fuji. Canon's so smooth. It wouldn't matter where I go. It's like, yeah. Sometimes Fuji's smooth, but we'll do a proper autofocus test, but let's switch to log and see if we can get the zebras to run away. Okay, we're both at ISO 640 because that's the minimum on the Fuji. Both at Tony 2 and 1/500th of a shutter. And the Fuji looks so much brighter. Canon, same thing. When I matched the S1 to the Canon was much darker with the same specs. Why? So much brighter. Why? Who's retaining more of that sky though? That should be blue. It's a blue sky. It looks just all white on the Canon. It's not cloudy. 0 clouds. It's a little hazy. There's a little haze. You're not completely lying, but. Okay, we got more of the sky in our scenario here. We're at 2,000th each. Canon's struggling. Okay, so I clearly see that we're underexposed. I see it. I see it. So let us make some adjustments. We're at 1250 now for both. I went that dark because I finally saw the zebras go away on the Fuji, and we're so dark on the Canon. Is it possible that Fuji has better dynamic range? It's very possible. That's why I've been saying, like, Canon full frame, is it really full frame? The size? I don't know. Like the 60 Mark II worst dynamic range on the planet. On the planet. I can't even see myself on the Canon. It's bullshit, Canon. Okay, if I'm just going by the screen brightness, we matched it. But we're at 500th of a shutter, 1250 for the Fuji. That's a lot of music. It's not a lot, it's not the amount of music, it's the volume of it. That's the correct way to pronounce your English. In case those were, there's a copyright strike waiting to happen. Thank you. All right, let's do a little autofocus comparison. I'll try to bump up the Fuji because we're at slow right now. I forgot that. It has so many settings you can't even change anything on the R. That was, trust me, that's what it's called. Oh, hey, Fuji. Oh, oh, so smooth. That is so smooth. Fuji's a little jumpy because they skip, but they like to jump, skipping ropes like a hunter would in the Antelope City. Canon is so much more polished, like my nails on Saturday nights. I made hip-hop. See you later, fellas. What the? That's some stuff right there. Canon, you're so smooth. Did you just lose me, Canon? Canon is an acrobatic phantom holding lemons. The autofocus test, I decided to step them, just move them a little off, even though they were recorded at the same time. I find if we're both moving to the camera at the same time, it's hard to judge, you don't know. So if one goes and then the next one goes, you can see it look back and forth. Let me know if you agree that that's the better way to stagger them. This sucks, this camera. I'm gonna throw it. Digital stab was off for that whole thing. Oh man, user error hard today. I will say this, before we get home, this grip on the Canon EOS R is so much better than the Fuji. If you actually had to carry it around, thankfully I don't care, it's always on a tripod, but that thing's terrible. It feels heavier. The Fuji, because of that stupid pinch grip, you have to put your fingers like down the grip. One crab shit. This thing's fat and fantastic. Toned out. I just attempted to get some slow motion footage. That Canon is the worst ever. I could barely find it. It took me a while to find it hidden deep in the menu. And then the manual focus, I had that little box that shows you. It's like, oh, you're in focus. Like, oh, cool, press record. That disappears while you're recording. Good luck focusing while recording on that camera. But here's the amazing footage I got. Alright, there is zero chance I exposed anything correctly, but we tried. We did our best. Canon on your right, Fuji on your left, 35 milliquiv, digital stab is off. ISOs, we're just different. We're toning 1.8 here, but 2 here. I'm not gonna cripple the Canon just because I'll step down for you crop sensor. I'm so sorry. I think we're still in the fast autofocus mode. That's a nightmare. Oh, that's a nightmare. Wow. I don't mind it. They're both tracking the eye. Who has the red shirt correctly? Probably neither. Blue light back there. It's through the eagle's hole. That's a demonetized warning right away. Is the background noticeably blurrier on the Canon? That's not fair. Fuji has a 1.4, but it doesn't autofocus right. There's definitely a couple zebras in that lamp, and the Fuji does look brighter, but I don't know what to do with log. You're supposed to overexpose it a bit. This is a bit much. Now they look much more equal, so here we have that. Who handles some LUTs better? 10-bit versus loser. Oh, and we were in 4K before, because Fuji can do it, no crop. But now we're in 1080p on the Fuji just to be nice. Canon just had a chance. Not gonna lie to you, I wish that was an F1. That is fast on that setting. I like it. As long as it's not jittering. Oh god. No, god. For this situation, they'd both be perfect. It's just the Fuji, I've noticed it hunts just way too much. You don't expect it to happen, but it just starts hunting. I hate that, where it's just the background keeps coming in focus and it's like a constant in and out. It's very distracting. Canon never does that. Sony would never. Fuji, but they're good with the firmware updates, so I'm expecting some. Now that I have this camera, I want a nasty firmware update. Nasty one. Alright, it's too hot in here. I got way too much sun today, so I'm gonna leave, but let me know what you thought. And this stupid light. I took the umbrella down, and I was like, there's no way I'm doing that. And then I tried the little one, that wasn't working. So now I got the one, the Desali, but there's no like shield on it, it's just straight light. That can't be very flattering. I need an umbrella that's huge but small. I need a flat sheet that takes up no space. Do they have those? I want one. So let me know who you thought won the battle today. I am curious to see if the Fuji has more dynamic range than the Canon somehow. If it did, that would be a joke. Because it did beat the Fuji, which had a smaller sensor, so it does make sense. The bigger the sensor, the more dynamic range, but it doesn't always work in that favor. There are hammers that exist. But it should be more. The Canon should be winning. And dynamic range is so important, it's so much more pleasing. When you're outside, it's so less contrasty and just like, oh, what's that white, cheap look? I didn't insult my own race. We're fine. We're dignified. I'm gonna leave. Thanks for buying a Camera Conspiracies t-shirt. Red one. Subscribe for more videos and I'll see you in the next one.